That one got away from the Indiana Fever, and it's going to lead to a lot of questions. You could say it was a Fever nightmare against the Dream. Give the Dream credit. They played great. They're a better team than the Indiana Fever right now, a much deeper team than the Indiana Fever right now, and they punched them in the mouth in this game, particularly on the defensive end. Jordan Canada taking the assignment against Caitlin Clark in the second half. The Dream hit the boards big time. Angel Reese continues to rebound at a great rate. And then they've got Ryan Howard and Alicia Gray. It was just too much for Indiana. But when you look at the Fever side of things, there are...
The scoreboard didn't just tell a story, it screamed a warning. Indiana went from dominant to decimated in the blink of an eye, leaving Caitlin Clark staring at the rafters in pure disbelief. It wasn't just a loss, it was a total system failure that turned a Fever dream into a living nightmare. Fans watched in horror as a double-digit lead evaporated, replaced by a level of chaos nobody saw coming. The franchise cornerstone looked completely shell-shocked as the identity of this team disintegrated right in front of her. This wasn't supposed to happen, but the collapse was as real as it was devastating.
Doing the rest of it. So I'm going to get into all of that and what it could mean going forward. I mean, I really liked the way Indiana started this game. I was feeling good about the way Indiana started this game, as anyone really should have been, particularly Caitlin Clark. She's got Angel Reese here, step back, cash. She hit her first 3 threes in the game to get things started. Again, it looked like they had the formula, they had the rhythm going. She wound up, really, really getting going in that first quarter. 13 points, I think it was, in the first quarter for Caitlin Clark. See her here from...
Everything started so perfectly, which only makes the ending feel more like a betrayal. Caitlin Clark came out like a woman possessed, hitting her first 3 shots from deep and putting the entire league on notice. She was toying with the defense, manipulating lanes, and finding her rhythm with ease. For a moment, it felt like the Fever had finally found their formula, a glimpse of the unstoppable force they were promised to be. But that early momentum was nothing more than a mirage, masking the deep-seated issues that were about to bubble over and destroy their night in spectacular fashion.
In the first quarter for Caitlin Clark. See her here from way downtown. And there was a lot I really liked from Clark in this game, who just continues to improve and continues to get better and continues to kind of toy with defenses and manipulate them in ways that we hadn't really seen her do. She got to the cup a lot as a rookie, actually. But in this one, you just see her doing things, getting to the drive here to the left and then uses the glass on the other side. I mean, she just made a lot of really, really good plays. She's scoring a lot of points.
The highlights from that first quarter were the stuff of legends. Clark pulled up from way downtown, hitting a step-back 3 right in Angel Reese's face that sent the crowd into a frenzy. She was scoring efficiently, driving to the left, and using the glass with a veteran's touch that seemed to suggest she had finally figured out the professional game. To that point, she had 13 points and looked like she was on track for a career night. The energy was electric, and it seemed like Indiana was finally ready to take its place among the elite. But the cliff was much closer than anyone realized.
But she had Tahina Paopao with a grade 3 ankle. I'm glad Paopao wasn't hurt on this play, so we can kind of laugh at it. But they're... Both her ankles buckle as Kelsey crosses over. And you feel like when a shot like that goes down, you look at the second quarter there, what's the score? That's a 3, right? Puts Indiana up 11. 6:48 left in the second quarter. Fever should win the game. Or at least they shouldn't get the doors blown off of them, which is what happens in the second half. And that's where the questions come into play. Now, in fairness to Indiana, some of these...
It wasn't just the Caitlin Clark show early on, either. Kelsey Mitchell was putting on a clinic of her own, delivering a crossover so lethal it literally buckled the ankles of Tahina Paopao. It was one of those highlights that should have been the talk of the season. Moment of pure athletic brilliance put Indiana up by 11 points midway through the second quarter. When shots like that are falling, you feel invincible. You feel like the game is already won. But that arrogance proved to be their downfall as the Atlanta Dream began to wake up and realize they were being embarrassed on their own court.
Stop them. And then there was the 5th foul on Aaliyah Boston, and that exposes another issue with Indiana. But this was, the challenge thing with Stephanie White again. here it's the 5th foul for AB. And, I'm sure she's got people looking at it and telling her whether they think it will be overturned. But as high leverage as this is, and as little contact as that was, marginal, incidental, I think if you're Stephanie White, like I said with Caitlin Clark, you've got to challenge that for your star player, for the stuff that I just talked about, to set the precedent there. Set the precedent. And then there was...
The shift in momentum was subtle at first. Then it hit like a freight train. Atlanta didn't just play better. They decided to punch the fever in the mouth, metaphorically speaking. They ramped up the physicality, particularly on the defensive end, and Indiana simply had no response for the intensity. Jordan Canada took the assignment of shadowing Clark in the second half, and the results were immediate and jarring. The passing lanes that were wide open minutes ago were suddenly jammed, and the easy drives to the rim turned into contested nightmares that left the rookie sensation searching for answers.
Angel Reese made a nice play on this one, getting out, going in transition. And she actually took it all the way up over Kelsey Mitchell with the size advantage. And once Boston is subbed out of the game, the Fever just have no answers inside, right? And you get to a few things. I talked about the issues in this game to me, again, were foul trouble and were the turnovers and just the force Atlanta played with, give them credit. Some of the issues. The lack of identity also, which I want to get to in a little bit deeper fashion. The bigger roster construction issue.
Then came the officiating, which only added fuel to the fire of frustration. It felt like every time an Atlanta player drove to the basket, a whistle followed, sending them to the free throw line and slowing the game to a crawl. Lexi Hull played some of the best straight-up-and-down defense you'll see, yet she was constantly penalized for marginal contact. It's hard to build a rhythm when the whistle is working against you, and you could see the exasperation growing on the Indiana bench. They weren't getting the same benefit of the doubt, and that discrepancy started to eat away at their composure.